Hello, ladies. Amber Masterson here with Creative Journey, and I'm bringing you day 26, a day late. We got stuck in some storms, and life happened, and I wasn't able to upload the video because of the storms and tornadoes, but we are going to jump right in and get day 26 done. So here we go. Every time I hear this verse, I automatically think about like leaves changing, seasons changing, and I almost did like a 4-season design, and I was like, that might look like a hot mess. So I decided to start off by adding leaves. I wasn't entirely sure where I was going with this, but I kind of wanted to use like some muted vintagey tones. It's something that we haven't done so far in this devotion. For the most part, I've stayed pretty bright and colorful, and I don't really know what got into me today, but we're going to do it a little bit different. So I've kind of grabbed I've grabbed like a light pink, a sagey green, a burgundy, and I'm starting off by just using that light pink, and I'm making this doodly leaf vine. So we're going to make this doodly leaf vine, and then I'm going to vintage this page up. This was very much just like sporadic and done on the whim, kind of just going with the flow today. I don't know. So get your leaf vines all done, and then I ended up pulling out some old looking paper. It was just some coffee dyed paper that I had done. Oh, it's been a while ago. And I started out with that. And I just wanted to use different vintage pieces in this design. If you're into vintage, you're going to really love this. And if you're not, that's okay. You can do a similar design and use bright, cheerful, crazy, colorful markers, and it's gonna be really neat looking. So I started out with this coffee dyed paper, and I wrote a pointed a little too big, so it didn't fit. So I rewrote it, and I'm using a burgundy-ish Tombow. And then I'm just taking different colored Tombows to write out there is an appointed time for everything. So we're going to watch this process. I'm going to glue everything down, and then we're going to add a little bit more to the page. Okay, go through your stash. Find some just old looking vintage items. If you bought the colorful calling kit in January, there were some stamps in there. That would be a good thing to use here. You could use literally anything. Rip up some paper, make some frayed edges. You can make this look super vintage with things that you have. You could even, if you didn't have coffee dyed paper, you could take distress oxide and make it look vintagey. All right, next thing I'm pulling out is a wax seal, and if you followed me in January, you see that I used wax seals a lot. Followed me in the Facebook group, that is. And while I'm melting those wax seals, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of go through my stash, see if I can find anything else. Spoiler alert, I didn't find anything else, so let's just go ahead and scratch that, but you might be able to find something else. I got a little bit impatient with how long the wax was taking to melt, so I did end up pulling out some gelatos, and I just rubbed some color on there and vintaged up the whiteness of this page. I felt like it was like a little too stark white and clean. And then my wax was ready. So I pour my wax on my page, I let it sit for just a second, and then I put a old vintage Geary time clock look on there and press that in. And so this was the end of my page, but no, it's not the end, because I went in and traced the word patience, and then I did my praise for the day. My praise for the day was, I praise God for moving everything in my life to fit His perfect timeline. You always know exactly what is needed, when it is needed. So let's go take a final look at what we've created with this different look. It's so vintagey. I love it. It's not my typical style, but I do really like the way that it ended up turning out. Our verse for today can be found in Ecclesiastes. It's Ecclesiastes 3:1, and it says, "There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every matter under heaven." So at the beginning of this, I kind of made a statement that said every time I read this verse, it reminds me of like changing leaves, changing seasons. And so I got a question for you. What is your favorite season? My favorite season tends to be fall. I love the trees changing. It's super pretty in my area when fall hits. I like the cooler air. It means hoodies. I really enjoy pumpkins and anything that's fall. It's just right down my alley. But I will tell you, there's a season that I'm not so keen to. I'm not really one who loves summer. I don't like sweating. I do not enjoy the hot, and really that's pretty much the only reason I don't like it. But I do like summer vacation, but like take me to the beach or something where I can cool off in the water. All right, enough about that. But in life, there's seasons in our life. So while I love fall and I really don't like summer, there's also times in my life that I really love the season I'm in. But then there's going to be times that it's a little bit more of a difficult season. In our Christian walk, we're going to experience seasons that are really, really wonderful. And honestly, some seasons are just very, very difficult. During those difficult times, sometimes it's like a season of pruning and loss where like God is getting rid of some things, but it's getting ready for like new growth in our life. But that waiting game isn't always so easy. To grow, it takes a lot of work. And seeds are planted and they have to set roots and break through the soil to produce fruit. And so waiting isn't always the easiest for me. So those seasons tend to be a little bit difficult. But in this verse, Solomon is reminding us that there is a season for everything, that we're going to experience good and bad, but there is no season that is a waste. There is something to learn in every season, whether you're going through a season of great abundance or great loss, great joy or great pain. The beautiful thing about this is that season is not wasted, and God can use everything that you're going through today to make something beautiful out of it. So I want to bring you to James really quick. And in James 1:2-4, it says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet various kinds of trials, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete and lacking nothing." So whatever season you're in today, don't waste this time. There's something for you to learn. There's somewhere for you. There's some like area of your life that growth can happen. So in those seasons of waiting, which I don't really like, don't waste it. Don't waste that time, because God has something for you in that season of your life. All right, ladies, I love you guys. You have been so great walking through this journey with. I thank you for your patience on this getting up a day later. I love you guys. You can follow me on Instagram at Created Journey. Join us over at Facebook in the Bible Journaling group. Bible Journaling and Faith. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. And I would love to see you over there. I will also be uploading another video today, which is going to be day 27. So I'm excited to get right into that. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.